our beast of a dehumidifier dented our door pretty bad. It's never fallen all the way through Alaska last year. All those bumpy roads couldn't handle Vermont. Look, it went through our screen and then dented the door, which honestly is fine because we've wanted to replace this because when we bought it, it already had these cracks around the window. So it's not like the worst place to get damaged, but it's still frustrating. Anyway, so we had our boondocking location last night out here, and I want to say it went well because it did. Mentally, it did not go well for me. I just kept waking up and I was like so sketched out that we were out here by ourselves. During the day, it's totally fine, but at night, I looked out the window and I literally could not see anything. Like the trees were so thick, it's so dark. Anyway, that's just something that I need to get used to, but I'll get there. Otherwise, this is a beautiful boondocking location. Highly recommend it. We're getting ready to go. We're only about a mile away from the trailhead that we want to go to for some treasure hunting. And we will explain all about that when we're actually on the trail. All right, we made it to our trail and we're starting our 2-mile hike to where we think the treasure is. Now, to give you some quick background, because you're probably just like, treasure, what are you talking about? If you've heard of Forest Fenn's like treasure hunt that happened years ago, then you're on the same page as us. But if you haven't, you should go Google it because there's this huge backstory. Literally took 10 years to find this guy's treasure.
Yep.
He wrote a poem, put it in his book and sold his book, and people became obsessed.
The poem led to the treasure.
Exactly. As you can imagine, over 10 years, a lot of people got involved. A lot of speculation started happening. His family actually started getting harassed. There's a whole documentary on it. You really should watch it. It's super interesting.
It's on Netflix.
Yes. It sparked this treasure hunting craze. And so then what happened?
2 separate people started their own treasure hunts around the same time. We're following one from a book called There's Treasure Inside. He hid 5 treasure boxes around the US, and we are searching for the Appalachian Trail box. So that's actually, we're on the Appalachian Trail right now. We looked through all of them, and this one happened to be on the path we were going and more easily solvable that we think.
Yes, and so we have good reason to be searching where we're searching,
Yep.
And when we get there, we will explain those reasons. Little Rock Pond.
And this is where we think that the treasure is hidden. We narrowed it down based on, you get a treasure map, and that is like the main clue. And that's pretty much it. That's all you know. It's on the Appalachian Trail, and you know that you have this treasure map. So pretty early, I think we narrowed it down to like either North Carolina or Vermont. Using ChatGPT, we put in like animals. There's a mountain lion or a catamount on there. There's a black bear. There's a what looks to be a Springer Spaniel and like a monarch butterfly and a couple of other things.
Isn't there an apple orchard too?
Yes, apple orchard. And so we kind of asked like what states on the Appalachian Trail have these things, and so it spit out North Carolina and Vermont. And Vermont was kind of one of the ones we leaned towards early because we saw the mountain lion, and we associate mountain lions with catamounts, which is what they call them here in Vermont from our last trip here, and skiing. So Vermont has lots and lots of skiing. So all that being said, started Googling some stuff to see what other people have found, and someone had matched this exact trail to the treasure map. So then we did that ourselves as well, and it is like spot on.
So when you look at that trail overlaid with the treasure map, that's where we kind of just went, and it has like a start here, and it has a little dog, and it says go fetch right at the 2-mile marker when you get to this pond. And then there is just this tiny little dip, and then the magnifying glass on a large tree. So that's what we focused on, was actually the beginning of this trail.
Yeah, because in other interviews he's talked about like it's no longer than 3 miles from like a parking lot, and it's moderate activity to get there. Like an average person can do it. If you follow the trail the rest of the way up like the mountain, and it looks like it pretty much ends, it is a more strenuous hike, and I feel like it's just at or a little over the 3-mile marker. Yeah, so we have reason to believe, based on other things that he's used on other box hunts, he uses zeros or O's instead of X's to mark treasure. Magnifying glass is a O, and that's more likely where the treasure is, rather than following the path to the other side where the X would be.
Yes, so the most exciting part out of all of this, we got to the lake, we took the first loop, and sure enough, there is a really large tree, like much bigger than the rest of the trees here.
Yeah, so that's one of the main clues that we've noticed. The other thing we saw as we were driving up on Forest Road 10 is that there was a sign in an apple orchard, and it said "Apple Orchard for the Wildlife," and they had planted a bunch of apple trees to feed the wildlife. So that's 2. Driving here, we went past a ton of ski resorts, so that's 3 things on the map that all match. We do know that Vermont, at least the university, one of the main universities in Burlington, their mascot's the mountain lion, the catamount. That's another one that matches for Vermont. And there's potential mountain lions out here. And then there are black bears, which is something that's on the map. The dog, this trail dog friendly, and so the dog's on there. So that's all of our assumptions. And the way treasure hunts usually work is people get really big confirmation bias to what they discover. That's what we're doing, and we're out here. Now it's time for us to go search in the woods around this big tree and see what we find. Ooh, it looks like people have definitely been back here based on what it looks like.
Yeah, I guess we're not the only ones who thought this.
Yeah.
This is the big tree, right? It's the biggest tree in the area. So we've just been walking around it. And as I was walking around, I fell in this hole. I've never been more excited to fall in a hole in my life. So I thought, oh my gosh, this is it. This is where the treasure is. However, I just stuck my phone down there and recorded it and like looked around. I think it was just soft ground from where there's like the underwater or understream like water that's coming through. Because when you look down there, you can actually see light, and it's from like these other holes that connect to this. No treasure yet.
Everywhere you go and look, there's then like another place it could be.
Hey, did you know we made a tank treatment? It's called Tank Tune-Up, and it's a no-filler powder that breaks down waste, kills odors, and even cleans your tank sensors. Click the link in our description or find it on Amazon to get yours. Okay, we did not find the treasure. We searched for quite a bit too, so it's time to head back. But this was a really fun adventure, and we got to say now that we've been on the Appalachian Trail, which is pretty cool. If you are coming to look for treasure, if you find it based on any of the clues or our logic today, can you at least like just toss us a gold coin?
I don't know if we showed the treasure box, but it's metal made out of stainless steel. So I was thinking like a FLIR camera, like a heat camera. Thinking the metal would be different than the wood on the camera. You'd have to take a look, but that might show up.
And then you can tell that some people were definitely searching around this tree. So that made us feel better of like, well, okay, our logic can't be that flawed if other people are looking in this same spot. However, I feel like We scoured around the tree and then the area surrounding it. I have a gut feeling that it's gonna be in that underwater way because he said it's not buried, right?
Correct.
So it's like they don't want you coming out here to this national forest and digging. If I had to hide a treasure box in that area, I would put it in that little underground water stream area.
I think it's definitely out here. I still think that Vermont may be it, but this is the problem, is it took 10 years to find the one treasure box that Forest Fenn hid because it's wilderness. The fun is definitely in the searching.
Exactly.
I mean, I would have a lot more fun if I found a treasure box, but
Yeah, me too.
but we still had a lot of enjoyment today.
Exactly. So now we don't know exactly where we're headed, but we do know we're hopping back on the Vermont 100. Not really sure how far we're going to make it today or where we're going to stay tonight as a camping situation, but you will find out with us, I guess. We made it to Mountain View Campground last night, and we chose this because it was kind of our only option. There were 2 privately owned campgrounds on the Vermont 100, but we chose this one honestly because it had a hot tub. So we got to soak last night, which was amazing after our hike. And then we also chose this one because they had a laundry facility. So we got to clean the camper, dump our tanks, do our laundry, kind of just regroup and get ready to go back out and do a little bit more dry camping. Yeah, so this one's called Mountain View Campground. It is one of the 2 private campgrounds near the end of the Vermont 100. So if you're in the area, we highly recommend it. It is a little pricey, but you know, when it's one of your only options, they're allowed to do that. But we're thankful for it because now we're road ready again. So last night, Jason was looking at his phone before bed, trying to figure out where we should stay tonight. And he found something that I'm very excited about. It's not where we're staying, it's an activity we get to do today, but more on that in the next video.